Hello tubers, this is Kurt with Edibles and Exotics coming to you from sunny Mesa, Arizona. And this is going to be a continuation video on getting my plant nursery business up and going. So I've changed up a little bit here and there with the plans. So I was going to go with a single spot, now I am doing a double spot. So my spot is now going to be 20 feet wide and about 25 feet deep. So it's going to be a lot more space for me because I don't think a smaller spot's going to really work out for me. You know, I got a ton of plants to move in, hopefully, and to sell. Basically, I just want to do a really quick yard update and tell you guys what I've been doing and show you guys. My biggest fear with the business is not having plants to sell. Not selling stuff is one thing, but if you don't have something to sell, that's an even bigger problem. So over the summer, I haven't been propagating as much as I should have because I was kind of running low on space. It was super hot, and it's just very hard to get plants started when it's, you know, 118 degrees and not a cloud in the sky, very low humidity. So I kind of dropped the ball on that. So I've been trying to catch up in the past month, trying to get my stock up because I don't want to be a middleman. I'd rather grow my plants myself. Whether it's from cuttings, air layers, seed, whatever it may be. So that's what I've been trying to do. So let me flip you around here and show you what I got going on. All right, so we're out in the front yard here. And here's the moringa I did the video on. I think it's like a month and a half later, and this thing's covered in pods, which is kind of cool. Lots of good eating, lots of flowers, some good pollinators flying around. Got some bees up here. We get hummingbirds flying around this thing. It's just a great tree to have. So this one here, this is the Black Mission, and the landscapers, or what you would call landscapers that the community hires, just come through and butcher everything. So this tree here, it's grown over this common area, and they always come through and cut off the whole side. So what I did was I tied up all the branches and I air layered them. So we got a whole bunch of baked potatoes going here. Now these are, I don't know, maybe like a week and a half out. And as you can see, they're already getting roots. Here, you can see the roots forming. So that's a good thing. So this is a race against time. I'm trying to get these guys air layered out and trimmed off before they come through and butcher the whole side of this tree. Because, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that were hanging over this, and these are pretty thick. So if you watch the video back in December, I pollarded this thing down to like 4-foot trunks, and this is what it grew into. I mean, it's gigantic. So again, guys, don't be scared to trim up your fig trees. They will come back. They come back like monsters. Here's the Buddha belly bamboo, and I was hoping it would get 4 to 8 feet, and guess what? It's probably about 3.5 feet tall. So got a couple of pretty nice mature stalks coming up, so I'm excited about that. It filled out pretty nicely. I have a Mexican cream guava, or white guava, growing over here. This is a newly planted one. I planted this a couple of months back, maybe like 2 months ago, and it's growing like a weed. My passion fruit, you can see it's growing everywhere. I planted it to grow up this palm tree stump, and the palm tree stump died, so now it's growing up the moringa. But I'm going to try to do cuttings off of this because I'm going to have to trim this, and I don't want it getting wasted. So over here, I got summer royal grape. I did a lot of cuttings off of this. Don't know if they're going to take or not. They're starting to form little nodes, so hopefully those are the beginning of roots. This is a Morris Alba, but it's a white fruit as opposed to a black or a red one. So hopefully, I got it from eBay from a guy, and I think it might have been a tissue culture because it hasn't fruited yet. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a wild one or a blackberry or a red berry variety, because I don't want either of those. This right here is my date palm, covered in dates, and it's also covered in a gigantic birdhouse gourd vine. I got some really, really big birdhouse gourds on this. They're not really houses, they're more like mansions. But here's one right here. I'll show you my hand for size comparison. It's gigantic. It's probably 1.5 foot almost 2 feet. There's another one down in here. This guy's resting on the ground. But let me see if I can get these out of the way. There he is right there, gigantic. And there's a couple of little baby fruits here and there. A lot of them just didn't make it. I don't know why, but whatever. Here's the date palm, still got dates on it. Birds are eating them like crazy, and I can't really protect them because of this stupid birdhouse gourd growing on it. Some lemongrass. We got this Santa Rosa plum that I'm hoping to start air layering off of next year. I just planted it this year, and it was about 3 feet tall, and now it's probably about like 9, 10 feet tall, so that's a plus. Got a weeping mulberry here. I think I've collected like 8 air layers off it already. This one did not take, but it's got a root coming in right there. I know it kind of looks weird. It's just a red Ziploc. It's not a piece of meat on there. Looks like a piece of steak, but it's not. This guy over here, covered in the cobwebs, is the Peruvian apple. Hopefully, I'm going to start chopping away at this. I want this out of here. So I'm going to do cuttings on this, and should have them for sale at the retail spot. Over here is a Queensland bottle tree I grew from seed. It's about not even a year old, and it's doing great. So hopefully get some air layers off of that next year too. I got a lot of those growing. I should have them for sale also. Barbados cherry was teeny tiny, but it's coming back. It died last year almost, and now it's bouncing back, so that's a good one. Over here we got a contorted mulberry. This one was an air layer from the one in my backyard. I had this side branch here popping off, so I air layered it as well. This is a key lime or a Mexican lime. I'm going to start air layering this because I can't even walk to my backyard. This thing is in the way, and it's got nasty thorns. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but man, they're everywhere. You don't want to get poked with those. In the backyard here, we got a ton of mint. I'm going to start harvesting that and selling it. We got a moringa. I'm going to do a lot of air layers on this one because it's growing into the neighbor's yard, and I don't want them getting mad at me. Blue Java bananas. I did harvest these. I did not like them. My daughter did. But in the cutaway here, I'll show you exactly what they look like. They didn't get very big. Some of them are conjoined, but hey, banana harvest, right? Over here, this is a another mulberry. It's supposed to be a dwarf everbearing. It is kind of dwarfy, but again, no fruit. I don't know. You never know when people give you plants or sell them to you online or whatever. You never know what you're getting. These down here, these are all cuttings that I did from the Black Mission fig tree in the front yard that I just showed you guys. These were the bigger cuttings up here, and the littler cuttings were down here. So these bigger cuttings, they're kind of unique. Some of them are gigantic branches. Some of them are little small branches, but as far as cuttings go, bigger cuttings really don't produce that big of a plant compared to a smaller cutting. It might be twice the size, but it's usually pot size and how you treat them. Over here, I got some bins of chaya. This is from the grapevine video. These guys are all rooting out pretty good. Over here, this is the contorted mulberry that I took the air layer off of for the front yard contorted mulberry. It doesn't really get much sun just between this tree and the roof of the house, so it's kind of small. Here's some weeping mulberry air layers that I took. Some of them lost their leaves, but they're putting out buds and stuff, so they're pretty good. I think 4 of them didn't lose their leaves, and I don't know, 5 of them didn't lose their leaves, and 2 of them did. Over here's another weeping air layer. I moved them out to the sun as an experiment just to see if it'll keep going or not. Over here, Morris Alba, white mulberry. There's air layers literally everywhere on this thing. I think I'm up to like 30 on it. I'm trying to basically polard it via air layering, so they're just everywhere. I want this thing kind of a little bit smaller. Out in the back here, I got my my last Shangri-La mulberry. It's the only one that was in a pot. And I don't know, it's probably about like 10 feet tall, doing pretty good. Over here, I got banyan trees, Ficus bengalensis. This is the common one. So the new leaves on these are red, and then they go to like a limey kind of color. So yeah, eventually the leaves get all green and fuzzy. So another type over here, this is a Ficus bengalensis, but this is an Audrey. So if you look at the new leaves coming out, they're not red, they're green. So that's a different variety. I started about close to 200 cuttings of these. So hopefully I should have those for sale, but these taller ones, they're about a year old. A little less than a year old. I think they're started in December of last year. So they're, I have to check my records, but yeah, I think they're like about 10 months or so. But they're about 4 feet tall. You can see that's what the cuttings look like, the original cutting with the stem coming out. But these guys are largest tree in the world, guys. They cover the most area of any tree in the world. If you YouTube or Google banyan trees, they're gigantic. They get aerial roots, and the roots grow down from the bottoms of the branches, support the branches, and they just keep growing out and out and out. So I'm going to be doing a video real soon on these, and hopefully you guys will check it out. But they are figs, so they do get these little red figs. They call them monkey figs. People don't eat them, apparently. They don't taste good. Down here we got wild mulberry that sprouted from my weeping mulberry. And we got some Peruvian pink guavas. Got a curry leaf. This is hopefully going to go in place of my Peruvian apple cactus. This Australian green here, it's doing really good, and I'm going to start air layering that, so hopefully I'll have some of those available pretty soon. We got the apple tree back here. We got a bunch of air layers on it. Got a bunch of very large leaf Pakistani mulberries. These are really cool. When they're grown in the shade, or partial shade like they are, they get huge, huge leaves, as opposed to the regular leaves that grow on in full sun Pakistan. So this one here, I'm doing a whole bunch of air layers on it, but let me jump back over here. This is an unknown Italian variety of figs, and I got a whole bunch of air layers on it as well. So those are quite big. Some of those are about 1 inch in diameter as far as trunk size goes. Over here, this is a Black Madeira fig. I did a whole bunch of cuttings off of it. No air layers yet. It's only been on the ground for the past summer. Started out as a little 6-inch tissue culture, and now it's probably about 6 feet tall. It's as tall as me. Got a whole bunch of figs in here. Blackjack, brown turkey, black mission, a whole bunch of bananas. We got a fiddle leaf fig growing in here that's been there for about 2 years now, doing great. We got a whole bunch of seed bins here. We got pomegranates, tamarind, dates. What else? Jujube, 2 different types. We got this Pakistani here. This is where I get all my air layers off of. I got a whole bunch in here. Probably about 13 or 14. I'm probably going to do about 50 to 100 air layers on this tree because I really want to get the top kind of cut down for next summer so I get a little bit more sun in the spring. But I really want to get basically that whole top portion air layered off, so I got to get the ladder out here, get that going. Got a whole bunch of palm trees going in here. Got some moringas. Got an annoying cat. Oh, this is the Shangri-La mulberry, guys. This was from the same batch as that other one I just showed you, but this one was planted in the ground, so it got gigantic. I'm probably going to do some air layers on it as well. This apple tree back here, it was doing great over the summer, and that big black scab on it, that is tree trunk sealer. It had a nice big branch coming off it, and it got so heavy with apples it broke. So I tried saving it, but I was just too late. It sat all day in the summer, the sun beating on it, and it just wasn't able to recover. But I am going to do some air layers off of the bottom branches on that as well. Over here, I got a blackjack fig. I did a whole bunch of cuttings off of this, and then we got some air layers on it as well. I haven't checked those, but they're probably starting to root out. Probably hack those off in about a week or two. Over here, the sun will cooperate. We got a yellow long neck fig. Again, all my figs have figs on them this year, so that's kind of cool. They had them in the beginning of the summer, and they have them now as well. This is the Concord grape that we built the trellis for in that video and everything, and did the cuttings. The cuttings are, like I said about the other grapevine, they're in jars, kind of rooting out in the kitchen window, but still nothing exciting yet. This is Chaya. This is the one I trimmed for that video. You can see these branches that I trimmed, and they're already starting to put out new growth, so that's cool, kind of cool. But these things grow like weeds, guys. This was a 6-inch cutting, I think like a year ago or something, maybe 2 years ago, and it's just massive. Really cool tree. They take the sun here. As long as you give them water and a little bit of fertilizer, they're good to go. Got some tree collards. I got some tree collards growing in a bin too, seed bin. Harvested the seeds and planted them. They sprouted like crazy. I got some cashews, some Thai guavas. Not too many people have these. These are all seed-grown Thai guavas. Some seed-grown banana sprouts. Got some cutting-grown sugar cane, some mangoes, just a whole bunch of stuff. This one over here, this one's kind of cool. This is a South Sea salad tree. It's the Chief Kubo variety. So this is a cutting I got. Hopefully it starts putting out some leaves. Here's some more mangoes. These are pistachios. I got 2 pistachios out of all my pistachio seeds. The bugs were eating them, the isopods. And that's all I have left. So as far as the retail spots going, guys, this is very stressful. It's costing me a lot of money. I'm not even open yet. Not only do I have to set up the plant nursery, I also got to keep propagating like crazy, film these videos, get them edited and posted, and work my regular day job, and then family life and repairs around the house and whatnot. It's just very, very stressful right now, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going with it, because entrepreneurs that actually make it and become successful, they put the time in. They don't collect a paycheck for months or maybe years, and it's something I'm willing to do. This is a dream of mine. So this whole plant nursery retail spot, for me, it's kind of a stepping stone. It's getting the nursery out of my yard, getting it into a retail spot where I have walk-in customers, and hopefully in a year or so I can get a decent sized loan, get some property, and get an actual nursery set up on my own land. So I've spent probably about $2,000 already. Probably have another $1,000 to spend before I even open up. So like I said, the rent is $650 a month. So hopefully I can pay my debt off that I've incurred already within a month, and save up for next month's rent so it doesn't cost me that much. But that's why it's kind of stressful. You know, you got a lot of money going out and not very much coming in right now. You know, I don't even have time to sell plants to people right now, you know, with all the propagation. So, you know, like I was showing you guys, I got air layers all over. I got cuttings in my house, outside. I have plants that are rooting out from a couple of months ago still, you know, cuttings and air layers and stuff. So if you guys are thinking of doing a plant nursery, my advice would be perfect your skills, all right? Unless you're going to be buying from a wholesaler, if you're going to be growing them yourself, you need to perfect your skills. You want to be pretty proficient when it comes to air layering, when it comes to doing cuttings, when it comes to growing seeds. You got to make sure you got a source for soil, potting soil. You got to make sure you have a source for pots. You know, I make grow bags, and it's the cheapest route to go. Plants grow the best in them. So, you know, not only am I propagating plants and growing seeds and all this and that, but I also have to make grow bags. So, you know, if I do a bin of 50 cuttings, I got to make 50 grow bags for those. You know, it's tough finding the time to do it, because making 50 grow bags will probably take me about like 3 or 4 hours. And, you know, I got to make all different sizes. So, you know, I got to make small ones, medium, large, in addition to everything else I'm doing. So it's, for me right now, it's wake up in the morning. If it's during the week, I go to my day job, get home, and I work in the yard. You know, I get home around like 4 o'clock. I work in the yard probably until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. If I'm not outside, I'm inside making grow bags. On the weekends, I wake up at like probably 6:30, I'm out in the yard by 7:30, and I work all day until like 10 o'clock at night doing what I have to do back here. So it's a tough life, guys. Another piece of advice besides just the propagating is, like I was saying before, you need to have something to sell. So, you know, if you have 200-300 plants, you got to figure out what the price is on those. How much are you going to make on those, right? What did you spend on them? What's going to be the profit? And then, you know, that's what you're actually taking home. So, you know, like let's say you have 100 plants and they cost you $50 and you're going to sell them for 100 each, right? So 100 times 100 minus your $50, that's your profit margin. But after you're out of those plants, guys, you're out of those plants. And you got to make sure that you actually are able to sell these plants. You got to make sure you're growing things that people are going to want. You know, I do a lot of stuff. You know, I do a lot of research before I go to bed. I usually either on the internet, researching, you know, different plants and, you know, different fruits and figuring out what I can grow here. I do market research. I try to figure out what other plant nurseries in the valley are selling and try to find things that they're not selling, because it's one thing if you're competing with someone, but if you have something that someone else doesn't have and people decide they want that, you're the only one that has it. They're going to come to you for it. You know, people can get plants online. You know, a lot of times those plants are cheaper, but you're getting a smaller plant. You got to deal with the post office, FedEx or UPS or whoever possibly killing it. And then, you know, trying to figure out how you're going to get it replaced, if you're out the money or if you're going to get a replacement. You know, sometimes these plants come in and they were fine in shipping, but they're just crap plants and you got to nurse back to health. It might not make it. So, you know, my competition, I don't think is going to be the internet so much. I think it's going to be the other nurseries. And, you know, I'm trying to keep my prices as low as possible. I'm definitely way below everyone else. So, you know, my plant quality is way better. So I think I have a pretty good edge on the competition right there. Plus, I'm growing things that other places don't have. You know, after I get the place open, I'm definitely going to do more videos on specific plants that I have for sale. A lot of them are kind of top secret because other people aren't growing them. So I'm going to try to keep it that way until I put out that video and I get those plants for sale. Because I don't want other people seeing what I'm about to grow, looking it up, and then saying, oh, I need to grow that too. So, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of secrecy in the business, you know. But, yeah, opening a plant nursery retail spot, it's tough, man. And I'm doing it on the cheap. I couldn't imagine, you know, if I bought property and I had to put up fencing and run utilities and put buildings up. You know, the price I'm at right now is not that big. It's not a big deal. You know, I could probably pull out and make most of my money back just selling what I purchased. But, you know, if you buy property and you got to put all this infrastructure up on the property, you know, I mean, you're talking easily $500,000 to $1 million to get a plant nursery going in the valley, you know, between buying a property and putting up greenhouses and buildings and parking lots and fencing and security and irrigation. You know, it stacks up pretty quick. That's why I'm kind of taking it one step at a time. You know, I figured the Mesa Marketplace swap meet is, it's got a lot of foot traffic. It's free to get in. you know, if you're coming down looking at plants, you know, you'll be browsing through, and you know, you'll probably find other stuff you want or need or didn't even know you needed and purchase it. So hopefully it'll keep you guys coming back. You know, you don't just have to show up to specifically buy plants from me. You could walk around and have a good time. You know, it's a great place, great people run it, and a lot of great vendors. Everyone's friendly there. So I'm hoping it really kicks off, guys. So down in the comments, if you guys are looking for certain plants or whatever, or you want pricing or something like that, let me know. I'll tell you what I have. Like I said, I'm not open up at that spot yet. It's going to be another, hopefully 2 weeks. Could be 3 weeks, but you know, if nothing pops up, it should be 2 weeks. But in the meantime, you know, if you guys want to come by my house and pick up plants, we can do that too. So tell me in the comments what you guys are looking for, if you want anything, and I'll put my contact information down there, and get a hold of me, and we can meet up, and you can get your plants and help donate some money to the plant business. I get a lot of questions about people asking me if I'm doing shipping right now, and honestly, I don't have the time. I'd love to, but as far as shipping goes, my schedule's pretty much full right now. So I'm hoping, you know, in a month or two, when things start dying down and I'm more settled in and everything, I can pick up with the shipping. I got a lot of plants that are on the smaller side. They'll be a lot cheaper, super healthy. Well, you know, healthy root system, healthy top growth. So, you know, I'd love to ship you guys those. I know there's a couple people way north Arizona, a couple people down in the Tucson area that are looking for good cheap plants. So when I get to that point, I'll make an announcement on a future video and try to set something up. I was thinking of doing an Etsy store, but I may do like a Shopify or something like that, which would be my own personal website, and sell it that way. Or I may do both. I haven't decided yet, but I just don't have the time for it right now. So like I said, when things die down, I'm going to add that avenue to the plant business. So I'm kind of, like I said, I'm stressed out. I'm really pressed for time right now. I've been out and about since about 7 o'clock this morning. I've been to the swap meet, getting things set up. I've been in the yard air layering. I've been doing cuttings. It's really hectic. So I apologize if the quality of the video is not the best and I seem kind of rushed, because I am. But hopefully next week's video will be a little bit better. I'll be a little more less stressed and a little more settled in. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, tell all your friends. And until the next video, guys, keep growing.